Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Mekkah, and there's a seagull outside of my window, and it's making an awful lot of noise, and it's super annoying, and I hate it. Also, three houses, it's looking wonderful, and I want to talk about it real quick, because I haven't for a little bit. I've mostly been keeping up with the news, but doing news coverage of it in any capacity is proven like an impossible task, because there's just so much information of it online. I don't know where to even begin if I were to do that, so thank God Max is doing that. It just seems like there's at least an hour of new gameplay footage, as well as random articles every day now and then, and there's just too much to dissect. So that kind of makes me wish it was a little more spread out, considering just a while back we only had a couple trailers and a complete radio science to work with. But I understand why it happened this way, and it's fine for now. At least the game is finally getting some English marketing, which is what it really needed. Thankfully, Mangs has been doing a wonderful job of keeping up with the huge amount of info. His videos have been very helpful in keeping track of things, so shoutouts to him and his designer and editor Jake, who lightens his workload by a fuck ton. It is thanks to these videos and a little bit of gameplay footage and cinematics that I've watched myself that I am pretty confident that this game is going to be very exciting. I know I'm not the only one saying this, but some people think I'm not that enthusiastic about this game, but that's just because my voice never sounds excited. I don't know how to sound excited. I guess this might be how I sound excited. But yeah, these things have been showing that the games actually have the creators put their heart into them. They really want to tell a story with these games, and they want to make a good game rather than just quick money. It's the fact that they're willing to rework the very basic Fire Emblem formula, that they're willing to do sort of away with the common mainstay features of previous games. Like, there's no real weapon triangle, there's just skills that emulate it, and then there's no more children characters. So those seem like easy inclusions for anyone who wants to make a Fire Emblem game, but no, they're like, we're doing something different. And they're adding all sorts of new ways to train units through a teaching mechanic instead of just getting all your necessary training on the battlefield. And then there's that opening cinematic, like, hot damn, if that wasn't a great way of telling a story, then I don't know what is. All these three houses reveals have been doing a wonderful job of getting me curious, like making me want to know more, and that's really what marketing is supposed to do. Even the things that I'm not super enthusiastic about, I'm still very curious how they will turn out. Like, take for example Bernadetta. I made a bit of a shitpost video comparing her to Fate's characters, but contrary to what some of the comment sections thought, it was not my intention to shit on Bernadetta or people who like her. Rather, my point was that if we saw, if you look at what we knew of Bernadetta so far, it's just shy girl, wants to lock herself up. It's like, if that's enough to make you like her, then you're liking a really shallow one-note character, just like a Fate's one. But I will add, before you misinterpret me again, not intentionally, I'm sure, sometimes my points are just unclear, but I will add that if the idea behind Bernadetta's character type, like a shy student, is up your alley, then you've got a very good reason to be very excited to see what she's all about. And if it turns out that this I'm afraid of anything, I'm so shy gimmick is all there's to her, then I do think she's basically a Fate's character. But if there is more to her, and one review has already mentioned that there is a bit more to her in her supports, and that's great. My only point was that getting overly excited, attached, or even creepily obsessed with the character that we know so little of, while judging Fates for shallow characters, that's a little bit of a double standard. Double standard. But in no way am I blaming anyone for just liking Bernadetta. That's fine. But, that's just my point. Anyway, if we're talking about individual characters, I do have to say I'm having a little bit of trouble liking the characters because of this one-note issue. I enjoy the designs of a lot of characters, my favorites so far being Edelgard, Mercedes, and for meme reasons, Raphael. But so far, most of the things they're all about have just been kind of told to us through their biographies and descriptions and stuff, which is the most plain way you can learn about them. So what I'm looking forward to is seeing their dialogue and random quotes and stuff, because those are interesting, and I know we get to spend some time with just about every student before we have to pick a house, so I'm hoping we'll learn more from them in that way. My point is, I'm really curious, but I don't really have any clear-cut favorites yet, because I personally find it hard to get attached to a character with the information that we have been given, even though it's a lot. But it's not the kind of way that I get attached to characters. Usually I get attached to characters through playing the game. What I am really wondering about personally is what there is behind Dimitri and the story behind that eye patch. Not really what's behind the eye patch itself. I don't care about a lost eye, that's gross. But I'm curious about the reasons why he turns out the way he does. That's the kind of thing that intrigues me, and there's a lot of little mysteries like that in the game that I want to know. I want to know what's behind that cinematic trailer, that good old battle, why Lady Seros wanted revenge on Nemesis, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm curious about. But yeah, the thing about Dimitri is why I'm probably going to be playing Blue Lions. Or maybe because I just wanted to save him from his dark path, I don't know. The point is, I'll probably be picking Blue Lions right now. But yeah, one more thing about the character-focused thing. I usually find the character-focused Fire Emblems less interesting than the story-based ones. But this is not because I inherently hate character-focused Fire Emblems. Let me explain for a little bit. So, Fire Emblem Awakening and Fates were clearly more concerned with their cast than with a cohesive plot, and it really shows, and the same goes for the world building. And while we're on that track, FE7 also has this problem, although the plot issues are much better hidden because of the confusing way it's written, which is why it's taken this goofball like so many episodes to get to the bottom of the analysis. But so far, it looks like Three Houses is both focused on its world and its story and world building and the characters. And they're intertwined really closely due to every character having their own country of origin and their own opinions and agency. So that's really different from what the other Fire Emblems I just mentioned have, where basically they're just focusing on the characters and the story is like whatever, that's just a way to get from point A to point B, and that's all that really needs. It's just a backdrop, basically. But this game, they both seem very important, even though every review is saying the characters, this game is all about the characters and their interactions and their things. But it also definitely has a really big story, and I love Fire Emblem stories. Like, I love genealogy and Thracia and stuff. I love learning more and more about the way it's gone. But sometimes Fire Emblem has this bit of a problem where it just exposition dumps a bunch of stuff on you, and it's kind of hard to get through when you first play through, and it's hard to remember like everyone's name and stuff. So it's going to be really tough to write this properly, especially since it has to be done from at least 3 perspectives. So not to sound like a broken record, but I'm really curious to see how exactly they're going about that, how they're going to do that to keep it interesting. Because so far, I think there was one review that was like, the story is kind of complicated, so you have to like pay attention at all times and keep up, which might be a little hard for me to just remember everything properly so that the whole story makes sense to me. It's easy for me to miss that kind of stuff. But I'm also excited because I just really want to see what they can do, because they've never really seemed that focused into both story and characters before. It's really cool. But yeah, that's my updated rant basically on Three Houses. I'm very, very intrigued and very interested, and I'm gonna buy it day one. I'm gonna play it. There will be a Let's Play on this channel, in case you haven't heard that yet. I will also be accompanying Mangs on his Edelgard route playthrough, his Black Eagles, and I'll also be doing one on my own. So yeah, that's all I got to say for now. Thanks a lot for listening. See you around. Peace. Goodbye.